Hey guys, it's Sandy from Balloon Utopia and Market with Balloons and Balloon Business Bootcamp. And so today I wanted to come on and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a couple of things. Um, One, Balloon Business Bootcamp, because I'm offering it at an incredible sale, which ends tonight at midnight. For you on the East Coast, you're lucky. It's California time that it ends. And for you on the West Coast, it's midnight. And for you in Hawaii, I'm sorry, it's going to be a little bit early. But anyways, bear with me just a moment here as I make sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to, and then we'll get started. There we go. All right, it is working. All right, great. So, so I wanted to talk to you about a lot of things, but first of all, let's just do some housekeeping. Right now, specifically, I am looking at my YouTube audience. Hi guys. And so I just wanted to take a minute and kind of catch you up to where I am, what's going on, and the kinds of things that you can expect to see in the future. So you may have noticed that I'm kind of transitioning from being only about balloons to being able to explore some of my other passions as well. Um, besides balloons, I'm going to be going back to school this year. I'm very, very, very excited and really nervous because it has been like 25 years or more, 30 years, 25 years since I've been a student. And I'm taking some production classes. So some of you have asked me, what happened with Shaped Up Sandy? Hey, hi, yay! I'm so glad that you made it. So some of you were asking, whatever happened to Shape Up Sandy? And quite frankly, what happened is I ran out of money. I ran out of money and my ambitions exceeded my skills and the team kind of fell apart and so I wasn't able to produce it the way I wanted to. So I'm going to be working on a new show, and I'm taking classes at the local community college to learn production better, and to hopefully to bring you something that's going to be very exciting. And though I haven't had any balloon tutorials on for a while, don't worry, there will be some more. I do have a list of videos that I always wanted to make. I still have one more book that I've wanted to write. And so these things are still going to happen. I just don't have a timeline for you. So I wanted to share that. And I hope that you will stay with me on the journey of all of these other things that I'm doing and that will be coming onto my YouTube channel. So that is what's happening with me and YouTube. With Balloon Utopia, some of you guys have asked about that. For the day-to-day events, I sold the business to my ex-husband. And then I have a handful of clients that just won't let me leave, won't let me retire. So I still got my fingers in it. And then, of course, Balloon Business Bootcamp, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Alan. Hey, Chloe's mom. I don't know your real name, but that's okay. Most people call me, not most people, but my kids' friends call me, Sky's mom, Shore's mom. You don't have your own identity once you have kids, right? So anyway, yeah, so those are the things going on with me. So and then of course, I'm still in my Beginning Balloon Professionals Facebook group, which if you're seeing this on YouTube, I really recommend that you go over to Facebook and check out the Beginning Balloon Professionals Facebook group. It is a really awesome, loving group of people who help each other. You can show your pictures, you can ask your questions, everything like that. And if you want to make sure that I see something, just tag me. I'm quite honestly not in there every single day, but I do try to look at every tag. And then I want to talk to you about Balloon Business Bootcamp. So like I said, it is on sale right now for a crazy good discount. And the sale ends tonight at midnight Pacific time. So 11:59 actually. So that would be 8:59 p.m. if you're in certain parts of Hawaii, or that would be 3 in the morning if you're back east. You kind of luck out if you're back east in this case. But what is Balloon Business Bootcamp? Well, I'm glad you asked. Balloon Business Bootcamp is really focusing very intensively on the business of the business. That is marketing, sales, and pricing. Oh, thank you, Helen. Marketing, sales, and pricing. So those are the things that make or break a business, right? I mean, if you don't have your pricing set in a way that you're going to make money, basically what you have is a very expensive hobby. I mean, you're not doing a job, you're paying to work. And sometimes it feels like we think we might be making money, but then when we really look at it, we realize that no, actually I paid to work. And I have many many such stories in my early history, especially with the crazy fancy sculptures. You know, you just they are incredibly time consuming but very difficult to make profitable. And so that's what Balloon Business Bootcamp is all about. It's really intensively focused on, first of all, helping you hone in on who is your market, what kind of business are you, where do your customers live? And I don't necessarily mean geographically, although that's also important. And then, how do you set your prices so that you're going to make money, so that you can pay yourself, so that God forbid something happens and you need to hire somebody else, you can, and so that there's some room in there so that you can put money away to start going to industry conventions and attend industry training. So this is really important. And then, of course, there's the sales aspect, right? I mean, obviously the best case scenario is to do your marketing so well that your phone is ringing all the time. But sometimes you got to get out there and you just we call it smiling and dialing, right? You just got to put your smile on and pick up your phone and start making the calls. So those are the things that we're talking about very intensively in Balloon Business Bootcamp. And all of this takes place over 6 weeks. Now, you do not have to do the whole course in 6 weeks. The way that it works is that every week a new module will drop into the portal. Okay, and this is the recordings from a previous boot camp. So it's not a live boot camp, and because it's not a live boot camp, let me get up so that you can see me above the bottom third there. Because it's not a live boot camp, that's why we're able to do it at such a crazy discounted price. And that's also why you can go through it at your own pace. It's online. You just do it, from your house. You can be in your pajamas. You can be wherever you want, doing doing whatever you want. And so every week, over 6 weeks, a new module will drop that has more, that has the next set of instruction, the next class in it. And then after that 6 weeks, you'll have everything, and you can go through it at your own pace. You will have access to the course for at least a year, possibly longer, depending on if I keep the membership, the system that I'm using to deliver the content, which is Kajabi. So as long as I stay on Kajabi, I'm not turning off anybody's access. In fact, I just got some messages this morning from people from last year who were hoping to, come back in. They said, no, I didn't. You can still come in. Your login still works, but I'll have the system send it back out to you in case you can't find it. So, it's a great, if I do say so myself, it's a great resource. And as a bonus, the other thing that you get with your registration for Balloon Business Bootcamp is you get access to all of my photos, my entire photo library of my, God knows, 20-something year career, 25-year career. And you can use those photos in any way that you need to for your promotional purposes. So you can use them for your website, you can use them for your flyers, for your marketing materials, for your Facebook page, whatever you want. You get a license to those images, and that alone is worth more than this crazy discounted tuition or registration. So again, this is going to expire tonight at midnight. The price will go up, and so I just really want to to give you the opportunity to get it for the discounted price now. Then yeah, do we have any questions? I also said that this would be an AMA, which, if you don't know what AMA means, it means ask me anything. So oh my gosh, did I do that? Okay, ignore that. I was trying to put the website for for Balloon Business Bootcamp, and I'm just so used to writing Balloon Utopia after I write the word balloon that my fingers did it and I didn't even notice. So the website for the bootcamp is ballooncourse.com. www.ballooncourse.com. So somebody is asking about, do I have recommendations of where to purchase flexible aluminum rods online? For online, I have no idea, but I can tell you where to find them locally. So your aluminum rod is you're going to find it in your local industrial metal supplier. It is not something that you're going to find in Home Depot or something like that. This is something that's used in construction. And so you need to go to where the construction companies buy their supplies. So you want to look for your local or closest industrial metal supplier, and then they're going to have the aluminum rod. And it's not, if you tell them I want flexible aluminum rod, they're not going to know what you're talking about. What makes the aluminum rod flexible is the thickness of the wire, right? So a 3/16 inch or a 1/2 inch aluminum rod is going to be much more flexible than a 1 inch, or an 1.5 inch aluminum rod. And then there's the aluminum tube or the coil, which to find that you're going to want to go to plumbing supplies. And the aluminum tube, sometimes it's aluminum, sometimes it's copper. It just kind of depends on what, those are commodities. So it just kind of depends on what's happening with the price of those commodities, which one they might carry, whether it's going to be copper or whether it'll be aluminum. Some industrial suppliers, I would go look at the industrial plumbing suppliers to find the cheaper aluminum tubing or copper tubing. But for the aluminum rod, it's going to be your industrial metal suppliers. And in terms of buying it online, I really don't know. I don't know if anybody necessarily has it online because it's very big. So I don't know if they do shipping like that. I think it might have to be on a truck, ground shipping. I don't know this for a fact, however, because I found it in an industrial metal supplier here in San Diego and never had to look much farther than that. So Angela is asking about the price of the course. The course usually, so when it was a live course, it was $1,200 as the discount price. The home study version is normally $697, and right now the discount price is $297. So this is really a crazy good price, $297. You get access to all of my photos. There's all kinds of other goodies. We are going to have later this week a live kickoff webinar for everybody who's registered for the Balloon Business Bootcamp, so that we can just get you started on the right foot, answer any lingering questions you may have. If you're not sure how to use the portal, things like that, I just want to make sure to get everybody onboarded so that they can be the most successful. So let's see, what else, what other questions do you have for me? Anybody, any other questions? Sorry, I'm trying to block somebody that's making inappropriate comments. So all the fun of doing a live, right? You never know what you're actually going to get. Gosh, if you guys aren't putting questions, this is your chance to ask me anything. I mean, I'm going to pepper it with some promos for my Balloon Business Bootcamp, but I'm going to, I set aside about, half an hour, 45 minutes to be here for you guys, and ask me your questions. So some of you put questions on videos, or I've seen questions about just different techniques or different, should I use this or should I use that? You have me here right now live. I'm willing to answer almost anything. Obviously, I need to qualify that because, you never know what you're going to get when you start making such offers. Let's see. I want to try to create let's see. I want to try to get this out of the middle there, but still keep it up. So bear with me just a minute here as I try to, there we go. That's much better. Okay. How do you determine the best price for your garlands? That's a great question. And a difficult question. Yes, on the website, Balloon Course, it tells you a lot more about Balloon Camp. I'm sorry, about Balloon Business Bootcamp and what is included, what what it covers and everything like that. But I'll come back in just a minute and cover it again. We're getting some trolls here, so let me just block them. All right, so when you're pricing your garlands, and look, garland can basically refer to, it could be your classic decor where you've got your, all of your balloons are the same size, the same girth, or more usually now when people say garland, what they're referring to is organic garland. So here's the thing with the organic garland, right? And pricing it. You need to remember that it's going to take you about 3 times more supplies, 3 times more materials, and 3 times more time than normal regular balloons are going to take you. And not only is it going to take you 3 times more, but because it is something that is kind of like a living art, then it's hard to estimate that time, right? Because you can't just like do it in the workshop and then throw it up and call it a day, right? I mean, you're going to have to step back and look at it. Is it flowing right? Do I need to add a little bit of color there? And so you really want to price it for not the materials, okay? The materials in balloons are your cheapest part of everything. You want to price it for your time. And here's the thing, you might think, you know what, not a big deal. It's COVID, we're in quarantine, I got nothing but time. Okay, that's great, but God forbid, what happens if you get sick and you need to hire somebody else to do that garland for you? Are you now going to have to pay double for somebody else to do it because you didn't charge enough? So you really need to think about this to make sure that no matter what happens, you're going to be able to deliver on this job and make money for it. So if anything, it's better to charge too much. You can always, if the gasp, you can always bring your price down. But you're going to find that if you're undercharging, you're paying to work. All right, so I got a question here. If Bootcamp is good for starters or for people that already have a business? Both. So there's a couple of things that if you're just starting your business, you won't know your overhead necessarily. And you won't know, some of your percentages because this is your first year in business, but that's okay. We're going to give you some sample numbers that you can plug in so that you can use that to figure, to help you figure out your pricing and everything. And it's going to help you start off on the right foot. And this is really important because you may think that undercharging is a good way to get started. And I'm going to tell you it's going to be really hard to raise your prices later to make money. So you're best off to start on the right foot from the very beginning. Somebody here is asking if I'm going to offer it again. It's offered all the time. Just the price changes. It's evergreen because it's the recordings. But first of all, I hope that you quickly feel better and that you have, we call it in Hebrew, the blessing is refuah shlema. That means that I'm giving you a blessing for a whole and complete recovery, body, mind, and spirit. And when you get out of the hospital, contact me and I will help you. Even if the official price is higher, I'm not going to penalize you for being in the hospital and sick. Right now, the only thing you should be worried about is your recovery. And, contact me afterwards if you want to take the course and I'll work with you. Which brings me to another point. Some people ask me if I will do payment plans. Yes. If you want to do a 2-pay, I am happy to offer you a 2-pay. Just send me a private message and we can make that happen for you. The best stand for yard art. Okay. Whew, excuse me. Now, I assume when you're asking about the yard art, maybe you're referring to the cards. And I don't know that much about those. That's a franchise. Although I imagine that you could probably make them on your own. I believe that they sell everything that you need with that system, but I don't know because I didn't buy into that franchise. So if you're asking about to do columns and things like that, if the ground is flat, then you may as well just put it on a base plate and pull, right? You may as well just make it real stable and have it on a base plate. If, on the other hand, let's say you're in the grass or you're in a place where you're able to put something into the ground and you know that you're safe from the sprinklers, right? This is always a thing you want to be very careful of. Anytime you put anything in the ground, that you are aware of where the water lines are and things like that, that you're not going to accidentally take out a sprinkler. But when I've done some high flyers, I'm trying to remember the names of what we did, but basically what we're now calling yard art. So what I did is I took a piece of rebar and I, put the rebar into the ground. And then I took a piece of PVC and just slid it over the rebar and then put the balloons on that. So, if you have that rebar piece tall enough, maybe a good 4 or 5 feet, then it will hold even if there's some pressure, the wind lifts it, it will hold the PVC very well onto it. And so that's what I do for staked in outdoor decor. But most of the time I try to keep it on a base plate and pole. It's just easier that way, and I don't have to worry about what else is in the ground. I don't have to worry if the ground is too hard or too cold or too soft or too mushy or too this or too that or whatever. Now, I do want to add the disclaimer that I am in San Diego, California, so I don't even know what cold is, okay? Frozen ground, snow ground, I cannot tell you anything about that. I've seen snow once in my life. It was only recently, and my kids have never seen snow. So I unfortunately am not in a position to offer you any kind of advice on what to do for snow. Let's see, I saw somebody had asked about rain. How do you plan for outdoor events with rain? If you are in my Beginning Balloon Professionals Facebook group, in the file section, you will see a copy of my contract. You are welcome to download that. Please feel free to use the pieces of it that make sense for you, but do, edit the contract before you use it. You don't want to send something out that says that they're doing business with Balloon Utopia, first of all. So that is in the file section of my Beginning Balloon Professionals Facebook group. And basically my weather clause says that I will employ best practices, but I am no match for God. So if I'm worried about weather for an outdoor job, and because our weather in San Diego is so amazing, like everybody loves doing outdoor jobs, or they don't, let me rephrase that, they love having outdoor events. Nobody loves doing outdoor jobs, I don't think, but they love having outdoor events. Yeah, so it's something that I have to deal with a lot, unfortunately, reluctantly. We don't get extreme weather necessarily. I mean, it could go up into the low hundreds, but most of the time, our average temperature is in the mid 70s or so. So again, I have to admit that I don't know much from weather. We get like 20 days of rain a year. But because in San Diego, when it does rain, life stops because it's such an unusual thing. So, excuse me. So if it's going to rain, a lot of times events will get canceled. Like, I try not to leave my house when it's raining. But it has happened that, I had to do balloons outside in the rain. And here's the thing. You want to have as much done before you get into the rain as possible, because it sucks setting up in the rain. Now, the rain's not going to hurt the balloons. If you have Mylar balloons, it may take some of the color off of certain colors. For example, like the Magic Arch balloons tend to lose color when they get wet. But that's it. It's not going to harm the balloons other than making them wet and sticky. Now, where the trouble comes in, and this is what you want to warn your clients about, okay, if you're going to be doing outdoor decor and it might rain. Where the trouble comes in is this. If it rains a little bit, the balloons get sticky. They stick together, right? When latex gets wet, it gets very sticky. That's why it's such a choking hazard and so dangerous, right? So the balloons stick together. Well, now it gets sunny. They dry. They're stuck together. Now it gets a little bit windy or somebody moves it and then they pop because they're stuck. So that's kind of what makes the rain a challenge for doing balloons outside. But having said that, I mean, it's doable. I have done setups where it was like pouring heavily and, they still wanted the balloons, and what are you going to do? You get wet. So, but you do want to just let your clients know, always manage your clients' expectations, right? That's the big thing. If they know what to expect, then they're not going to get upset when it happens because you warned them and you gave them the ability to make the choice of if they wanted to move forward with those conditions or not. right? So I think the big problem where we see, you know, a lot of refund requests and things like that is when you don't communicate to your clients. So I always try to give them the worst case scenario and then do my best to, you know, to make sure that that doesn't happen. So you always want to tell your clients, you know, hey, I'm going to employ best practices, but here's the things that I have to warn you about outdoor decor. Here's what I have to warn you about balloons in the rain. You know, an arch in the rain. Helium balloons in the rain are not going to do well because the water's going to add weight and that's going to bring them down. It won't float. So that's one thing, right? You want to know, you want to warn them about that. You want to warn them about what I just told you about the balloons getting sticky, and then if it gets sunny, that they stick together and they're more prone to popping. And then having all of that information, if your client still wants to move forward, as mine did, you're covered. You're going to get wet, you know, okay, big deal. You get wet. We don't melt in the rain, you know, I mean, at least most people don't, you know, have your phone in a Ziploc baggie so you can take your pictures. That's what I did. Wear a raincoat and then you'll be fine. No biggie. Let's see. So what other questions have we got? Well, just in case there's somebody that's just joined us, we're talking about Balloon Business Bootcamp, and we're doing an AMA, Ask Me Anything Live. And so Balloon Business Bootcamp, you see the link right there on the screen, ballooncourse.com. It is available at a huge discount rate. Pricing expires at midnight. So I extended it out an extra week. I can't extend it out. And again, it just wouldn't be fair. And so the price is going up at midnight California time. So I really suggest that you get in now. It's a great course, if I do say so myself. And the bonus is that you get access to my entire photo library. So I know one of the hardest things for people just starting out is that you don't have pictures yet. You can use my pictures. You do not have to give me credit. The only time that you would need to give me credit on my photos is if you are publishing them in a book or magazine that is for sale, that has an ISBN and is for sale. But if it's your promotional magazine that you're giving out, you know, to get business, if it's your promotional flyer, if it's your website, if it's your Facebook group or your Facebook page, you are welcome to use my photos. That is what the license gives you. Is this course for beginners? Yes, this course, because we're really focused on the business side, is as useful, I think, for veterans and beginners alike. A lot of veterans think that they have their marketing and their pricing dialed in, and a lot of them, and myself included, right? I mean, my eyes were really opened to where my profit centers were, and I thought that I was making money, and found out that that I wasn't making money, that I was losing money on the things that I thought were profitable because they had a really, you know, they had a high ticket price. The client was paying a lot of money, but when I figured out what money I was actually making, I wasn't making money. And so when I realized that columns are my biggest profit center, just your standard columns, you know, 52 balloons, blow and go, and that's where I make more money than anything else. Well, you know, look, I went into this business like, oh, you know, I started as a twister. I want to be creative. I want to do the big things. I want to be an artiste. And that's great. And those big sculptures are fabulous for giving you a reputation, but that's not where your money is. Your money's in the classic decor. And once I realized that, I completely changed my business to really focus on selling classic decor. Because, you know, in the beginning, it's fun to be an artist and to have it as your creative outlet. But after a while, especially when you're a single parent and it's feeding your family, you got to make money. And that's what Balloon Business Bootcamp is about. It's about marketing, pricing, and sales. It's about making money with balloons, not just having fun and creating beautiful things. So we don't do designs. I mean, I have, you know, a YouTube channel with over 400 designs on it. More designs eventually will be added. We do talk about designs in terms of reverse engineering because, you know, with the rise of Pinterest, this is something we all have to deal with, that your client sends you a picture and says, how much for this? And then you have to quickly look at it and try to figure out a price. So we do talk about design in that respect, but it's not a course of, okay, now take out your red balloon and inflate it 2/3. No, we're not doing that. That's not this kind of course. This is a course about making money. So ballooncourse.com. The special price sale ends tonight, midnight California time. And I don't know when it will be on sale for a discount again. It, yeah, I don't have it scheduled. So we'll see. It could be another year. It could be never. I really don't know. So I suggest, if at all possible, you get in now. If you need to do payments, I'm willing to do a 2-pay for you. Just message me and we can set that up. Yeah. So let's see. What other questions do we have? Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I want to invite you to my Facebook group, Beginning Balloon Professionals. If you are a DIYer, this course is not for you. This course is about making money. So if you're not planning to make money with balloons, then this would not be the course. This is not a crafting or a design course. This is specifically focused on making money. And if you are a DIYer, I have the Facebook group DIY Balloon Art. And I've got the Beginning Balloon Professionals group on Facebook for people who are either making money with balloons or playing with the idea of making money with balloons. So it's a really loving group. I try really hard to keep it, spam free, to keep everybody positive, to make sure that nobody is made to feel embarrassed for asking questions. And if you're in my group and you see any of that behavior happening, that people are promoting too much, or that people are, being bullying or hateful or not answering questions. I mean, you can't force somebody to answer a question, but if you ask a question and what they tell you is you shouldn't ask this question, let me know, because that's not what my Facebook group is for. My Facebook group is meant to nurture and uplift you guys who are just starting out, right? We all start at somewhere. And, having mentors and having people who answer your questions is one of the best ways to grow very quickly. And as somebody saying that they don't have Facebook, I really recommend getting Facebook. If you don't want to, create a personal profile, that's okay. You could just open an account just to join some of the special interest groups that you might be interested in. You don't have to, friend all your friends and family. I know a couple of people who need to keep a very low profile because they're in the military, or their spouse is in the military, or whatever. And so they just kind of created a Facebook with an alias, didn't friend anybody or put it out there to all their friends and family, but in that way we're able to join the Facebook groups and get the benefit of those. So, just something to throw out there for you. Let's see, what other questions? So, yeah, this is always the challenge with doing a live, right? Is I didn't come on with too much to say. I suppose I could have planned like a design to teach or something like that to fill the time. So if people aren't asking questions, we'll cut it short pretty soon, because I guess I could babble on and on and on, but I didn't have a syllabus for this talk here. But hey, I'm learning to use this new software that I'm using for the live right now. It is simultaneously streaming to both Facebook and YouTube, and it's pretty cool software because you can stream to your Facebook page, or you can stream to a group like we are now. It's called StreamYard, so it's a pretty cool piece of software. I'm really just learning how to use it to its best abilities. And let's talk more about Balloon Business Bootcamp, the home study version. So again, I want to be really, really clear and transparent that this is the home study version. And what that means is that it is not live webinars. You can watch it whenever you want and consume the information on your own time. You don't have to be at the computer at a certain time like you would for a live one. It also means that it doesn't have the same level of support that the live one had, but you can always tag me if you have questions for me. So I'm not too far away. People who are in the course will tell you I try to be very responsive when people reach out. So that's Balloon Business Bootcamp. It is again, very intensively marketing. One is a 2-gallon Husky air compressor with a hose gun kit that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. should cost you about maybe 97 bucks, maybe another 20 bucks for the hose. And so that's what I use to inflate my 260s and 160s with. But it makes some noise. So as long as I'm in a place where it doesn't matter that I can make some noise, and that's what I use. I also use a Legenda with the one nozzle, and I use that especially to curl my 260s because it's more comfortable than the gun kit, which requires two hands. For inflating my round balloons, I use the Conwin Precision Air. And I have two of them. It's my workhorse. I literally couldn't run my business without it. It's probably the most important piece of equipment that I own. It's a big investment. So if you're just starting out, you're not sure that you're going to stay in the industry, that you're going to stay in the business, you may not want to get that right away. But when you decide that you are doing this for reals, it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to automatically size your balloons and speed up your inflation time greatly. And you know, your time is money, right? I mean, like we said earlier, the biggest part of pricing is your labor, not the materials. And I think this is the biggest mistake that people make, is they focus on the materials and not the labor and the time. So anything that you can do to get a good product but use less time means that you're going to make more money. So so that's what I use. Now I know that there's I also use a Precision Air sometimes. I mean, I have a couple of other inflators that don't size, not a Precision Air, a Premium Air. For when I don't need a size, I use the Air Force 4, which is like the big bucket from Conwin, to do my organic when I don't need a size. So I have a whole bunch of different inflators that I might use for different things. But definitely the Precision Air is my workhorse. And I know that Legenda also has a dual nozzle machine that will size the balloons for you. I've never tried it, so I can't speak to it. So that's what I use. All right, do we have any other questions? I'm going to stay on for about 5 more minutes. Do I recommend sizing 11-inch balloons? I don't think I size them to 11-inch. I don't think I size them to 9-inch. I probably size them to 8, even 7.5 probably. So usually I'm doing the balloons on the Precision Air, as we said. I have 2 Precision Airs, and they're not calibrated quite the same. So if I'm doing balloons outdoors, the setting that I'm going to put it on is 0.8, right? So it's putting in an 0.8 of a second of air. It's going to be between 7 and 8 inches, depending which machine I do it on. And that's why I try to give a range and say, oh, you know, between 7 to 8 inches, 7.5, something like that. Because it could be 7 inches on machine A and 8 inches on machine B. And so here's something really important. If you have 2 machines that are not calibrated the same, you want to make sure that whoever's using each machine is doing the same job. So for example, let's say I have an arch and I have a column. I might have one person on the machine for the arch and the other person on the other machine for the column. And that way I know that the column balloons are all going to be the same size and the arch balloons will be all the same size. And it's okay that they're not the same size as each other, as long as they are the same size as what they need to be to give a smooth finish in the finished product, in the garland. Oh, okay. How I curl my 260s. So to curl my 260s, usually I use my mouth. Nowadays we want to try not to do that, but I have the Legenda. I wish I had it here that I could show you. I have the Legenda with the one nozzle, and it's got a really good air pressure. So I inflate the balloon first, and then I wrap it around my fingers. And I can show you how I wrap it around my fingers. Let me get I happen to have a balloon here. Bear with me. I'm not gonna blow it up though, but I'll show. Okay, so first, somewhere I have a balloon. Anyways, so first I inflate it all the way to release the tension, right? Because just like this, it's very tight, right? So if you fully inflate it, and then let all the air out, then, well, you know what, let's see, where did that darn balloon pump go? And I don't know if you guys can hear me when I turn away from the camera and mumble. Somewhere there's a balloon pump, but I don't know where. All right, fine, let me try to blow up this sucker by mouth. All right, you guys get to see me huff and puff here. Oh my God, I'm over. Okay, so I'm 47. I'm gonna be 48 soon, and doing this, over 40-year-old woman who's had children, not easy. Okay, you girls know what I'm talking about, and you men don't even worry about it. All right, Oh my God. Yeah, okay. I can't do this. I'm not wearing my pee-proof panties today. Okay, so here we go. We inflated it all the way to the end, and now we're simply just gonna let the air go. And now you can see that it's looser, right? Let me pull out a virgin balloon and you can see the difference, that it's been stretched and it's looser. See that? See the difference when it stops vibrating? You can kind of see it. You can see that this one, that the one that was stretched is much longer as well. So after stretching it, then I'm going to take it and wrap it around my fingers. Now I'm left-handed, so I put on my left hand because that's the, the hand that I can control. You want to make sure that you do not accidentally twist it when you're wrapping it around your fingers, but that you just cleanly wrap it around your fingers. And then you're just going to kind of hold it. Let's see if I can, like that. Okay. So now I'm going to put this right here like this on the nozzle of the little legenda. And then it just, it does it. Now, it is a feel thing. It is not going to come out perfect the first time, because what's going to happen is it's going to go too fast. You're going to jerk your hand. You're going to twist it a little bit. The balloon's going to twist and stop going. So it is definitely a feel thing. And, you just got to keep practicing it and you'll get it. So that's how you curl a 260. Any other questions? No, we'll just give it a couple more minutes here. Again, we're talking about, besides the AMA, ask me any questions you got, we're talking about Balloon Business Bootcamp, which you can find at www.ballooncourse.com. It is on sale at a huge discount, but the sale ends tonight at midnight. Tonight, if you see this replay later, today is August 9th at midnight tonight, California time, the sale is going to end. And then the price is going to go up. So I really recommend that you get it now, because it's a steal, seriously a steal right now. And my goal now, obviously right now it's a challenging time, right? I know that some people are crushing it with the yard art. These are recordings from a previous year. Yard art was not a thing. We are not talking about yard art, but you can take anything that we say and apply it to the same, marketing is marketing, sales is sales, pricing is pricing, right? So what you are specifically using it for, the principles are the same. So, it may be, especially in terms of, corporate work and stuff like that, maybe there isn't any right now. But this isn't forever, this COVID thing and the quarantine, right? And when we are finally out of this, people are going to want to party. And if you're set up to be in the right, in the right position, that you've already made your connections, that you've already reached out to people, and you are top of mind when they start doing their parties again, you're going to get the business. So now in the downtime is the time to really get started setting up your business the right way and to focus on your business. You don't want to wait till this is all over, because then somebody's going to take your position. So just like I've seen a lot of veterans right now who are complaining bitterly about the newbies and the craft people and the party people who jumped on the yard art and are killing it, and they weren't able to make that pivot because they were stuck in their old way, and now they're complaining, oh, these people are taking my jobs. Which, first of all, I want to just say something right there. I don't believe in that, okay? I don't believe that anybody can take your jobs. I don't believe that competition is a bad thing. If a customer is going to leave you for somebody else, they weren't your customer. You did not do your job. You did not solve their problem in a way that they would stay with you and not want to go with somebody else, okay? So if you make it only about price, there is no reason for a customer to be loyal to you unless you're going to be the cheapest. And then you're always in danger of somebody else coming and being cheaper. It's a terrible way. It's a terrible way. You want to make sure that your customers are coming to you for more than just the price. And so, positioning yourself right now to be ready for when the world opens up again is a great idea, because then you can, once things happen, you are right there and you're already like, boom, we're opening up next week. Yeah, I've already got all of these connections of people that, are probably going to do grand reopening events to get attention and people back in. So now's the time. Don't put it off, especially since it's such a fabulous price, and I don't know when it'll be this price again, if ever. So yeah, do we have any other questions? We'll give a last call for questions. All right, so I want to leave you. First of all, I want to remind you, check out ballooncourse.com. It goes off sale tonight at midnight. You can still buy it, but it's going to be at a higher price. So if you want to get this amazing price that it is right now, now's the time. Ballooncourse.com. So here is the tip that I want to leave you with. As you build your business, don't be afraid to say yes. I do not subscribe to the belief that you have to be perfect at everything before you can accept the job or sell the job. Say yes, charge a lot of money, and hire people who can help you. So that way you can learn on somebody's dime. You gain the customer, you gain the confidence, you gain a friend, and you'll be able to blow your clients away. There's never a reason, if you're not available, you're not available, that's fine. But there's never a reason to say no if it's just a stretch for you creatively, or whatever. There are people that can help you, and especially if you have charged enough to be able to hire them, then you need never fear. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to make sure that you have the costs covered so that you can get the help. And so that's a big tip I want to give you to help you build your business, to help you stretch and grow. If you only do the things that you're comfortable with, you never grow. So say yes and then figure out how, but make sure that you charge enough money to do so. Check out my Balloon Business Bootcamp Home Study Edition at ballooncourse.com. And while I knock all my drinks down here, that's going to be it for today's live. Message me or drop a comment if you have questions. If you're in the Facebook group, go ahead and tag me to make sure I see it. I look forward to welcoming you all into Balloon Business Bootcamp, which, again, the website for that is www.ballooncourse.com. And until next time, join in with me here, guys. Go forth and balloonify. Mwah. And that's a wrap.